welcome to Helping Other People Evolve. I'm John McNeil. I want to talk about victimized. Have you ever paid attention to maybe the victim status that a lot of other people have had happen to them isn't the same that happens to you? Victimized by your own thinking and your decision making. Yeah, that's right. That means that when you make decisions based on situations and circumstances, you borrow or you live in self-pity because your decisions put you in victim status. And you can't blame the individuals involved in the situation, even though you do, because it's you that's creating yourself harm because of your faulty thinking and the decisions that put the actions from your thinking into a status that victimize yourself. You know, I ain't going to work because I don't feel like it. So you pick up the phone and you lie. Not to mention, maybe you have already created a history and you're risking your job for not being there, and yet still you choose through your own thinking and you make a decision which brings in an action to call off. So when you do show up, even if you don't have a doctor's note, and maybe some of you do, but guess what happens when you terminate it? You want to blame the company for not appreciating all your dedication and hard work like they did. You did it for free and they didn't pay you, but your thinking for that moment and that time, you didn't want to go to work even when nothing was wrong. Maybe you should have went to bed early, but the bottom line, I just want you to identify why I'm talking about victimizing your own self through the thinking and decisions that you make. And then you want to cry victim, but you did it to yourself. Yeah, most of you are borrowing or practicing self-pity. Yeah, I find out that it consumes you, and all you can do is continue doubting yourself because the way life is, you want to take shortcuts in the process of trying to do the come up, but yet still you're thinking because of your decisions, because you believe everybody's always against you, and the outcome always puts you deeper into the suffering consequence, but yet still you want to claim victim. But your victim status doesn't exist until you look at how you victimize yourself because of your inability to properly be responsible, improve your thinking, to have better decisions that shows the outcome of your action, because your character is connected to your personality, and you can't keep copping out, but most of you will. Even after you hear this information, you probably won't agree with it, but again, last time I checked, for someone to be a victim, you need a perpetrator to cause the harm. But at the same time, when the perpetrator is self, that's how I'm telling you, you're victimizing you. You want to keep on copping? But listen, I can guarantee you probably walk around dogging yourself out. What do I mean by dogging yourself out? Negative thinking, negative self-talk, which brings you to sabotaging. Man, I'll never make it out. Oh man, I'm black. Oh man, I'm Puerto Rican. Oh man, I'm white. Or I'm poor. And that. Always making excuses. Having no substance to connect to your improved thinking. So you always talk negative about yourself. And then you subject yourself to harm because you're probably struggling with codependency, needing somebody's approval instead of having the self-approval from good self-esteem and self-worth for a nice amount of self-acceptance to put efforts to do better. Just like you spend time with doing nothing but tearing yourself down. But you don't want to hear when someone like myself is trying to get you to identify that you got to stop victimizing yourself with your own thinking and decisions. The world don't owe you anything. You owe yourself everything. So what I'm suggesting is figure out how to improve your thinking. Figure out how to continue to what? Just be responsible. You know, there's some concepts. Do the next right thing. do the next right thing is beneficial. Yes, I'm in reality. I know the world still tends to send me unfairness, and there are still some people who have motives that aren't really good. But at the same time, I got to continue to keep positioning myself so this way I'm not in victimizing status, because I don't believe it's okay to continue having decisions from a thinking process that creates harm to me. You know, if you driving and you see that the light is turning red, and then all of a sudden when you go through it, then you want to justify if the popo is behind you, which is the police, that the light wasn't red, but you knew it was red, but at the same time you want to justify, but yet still your decision to go through it put you in that position. You're not a victim. You victimize your own self with your own action for making a decision instead of stopping. Why? Because you got to have some patience. And I'm not talking about being perfect. I'm just talking about what am I willing to do to improve. Listen, there are many of you struggling with substance abuse. There are many of you struggling with meeting contracts, learning how to manage, even trying to finish education. Some of you struggling with the relationships, some of you struggling with children. But all in all, you got to figure out, how do you find a balance so you don't lose you? How do you find a balance that you can change this process of victimizing yourself? That means that you can start putting some space from the downfalls and start allowing yourself to gain some consistency to see some improvement for a better you. You deserve it. Why do you want to walk around ignoring your responsibilities? If your house dirty, it's going to stay dirty. You know why? Because you don't clean it up. And if your children messing it up, maybe you should help teach your children how to clean up and play responsibly. But the factor of it all is your parenting skills might be struggling along with that victimized thinking and the decisions that come from it. You can't keep blaming your upbringing for your adult choices when you continue to smother yourself from your trauma that happened when you was a kid, but yet still you're an adult, but you still claiming what happened. I just told you about the negative talk to self, or sabotaging your life. Get yourself together. Do something about it. You know what I mean? Reading a book is pretty cool. Having knowledge is pretty fine. But if you can't take the book to internalize it, if you can't take knowledge to apply it, you just got some information. You just took some time to read some things. But I'm just trying to give you some insight. Change your status about how you victimize yourself, because your thinking and decisions is what causes it. If you're on parole or probation and your PO is expecting a clean yarn, or you're struggling with paying your cost and fine, to change the victim status, so I say victimizing yourself, you communicate. I know some of them don't want to hear it because you done cried wolf so many times, or maybe you truly don't have it. But what are you doing to nurture yourself in this position to do right? Or are you just turning a simple 6 months or a year or 3 years, allowing it to increase with this probation and parole because you keep violating? You just haven't properly got enough, or haven't gotten enough of the pain that this stuff has given you. I'm trying to tell you, you got to pay attention to your own thinking and the decisions that come from it. Stop victimizing yourself. I hope this video helped someone. My name is John McNeil. Helping other people evolve is what I do. I have asked that you subscribe, press like, and share this information. Tune in to the next video. Thank you.